Hey, Loren, aka Moses here. Good to see you. I don't know when you're catching the video. However, my intention today is to discuss being an entrepreneur and the fact why people become entrepreneurs and maybe why you've become one or that you're considering becoming an entrepreneur. Basically, an entrepreneur is a person who wants to run their own business, who has an idea or a hobby or something that they really want to do that makes them happy, that they enjoy doing. So they want to try to make a business out of it, try to make an income so that basically they can be their own boss. I really think the majority of people really don't like to have bosses. They, they really want to do things their own way. And that, I believe, is an inherent nature of us as humans. Some have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And that's what I really want to talk to you about today and to address, and that is being an entrepreneur. Because being an entrepreneur can be a great deal of fun. In fact, it can be a job that isn't a job. However, one has to recognize that there are some challenges to being an entrepreneur. Probably the biggest one that people are running into today, especially because of the internet. I think a lot more people are attempting to be an entrepreneur because of the internet. Before the internet, about the only way that you could become an entrepreneur was to start a business which generally required a physical location and was limited to a geographical area. Now, with the advent of faster cars and telephones and all of that sort of thing, the ability to be an entrepreneur and to have business grow became easier because you could spread out that geographical area. Well, with the advent of the internet, suddenly the world became the geographical area that you could market products in or have an entrepreneurial business in. And of course, it's continuing to grow and it's continuing to get bigger. And part of that is because population is growing. There are more and more people on the earth. There are more and more things that need to be addressed and taken care of, the challenges that people have. And that's what entrepreneurs do. They look for what people need. Where there is the greater the need, the better chance they have to fill that need and become viable and make money. But here is a real key to being an entrepreneur. You have to stand out. You have to be different than the hundreds of thousands of other entrepreneurs out there on the internet that are trying to get people's business. And being absolutely honest about it, that's really what it's all about, is making money. Now, if you can solve a problem for somebody, and the more people you can solve that problem for, and the more difficult the problem is to solve, you'll make more money and you will be helping people. And that's really what all businesses are in business for, basically and foundationally, is to help people. The plumber is an entrepreneur and he helps people. People have problems with their plumbing, water, sewage, whatever. A plumber goes in and helps them. An electrician, same thing. All of your trades in reality are entrepreneurs, and as a plumber or an electrician or a painter or whatever you are, you either have your own business or you're doing those things for somebody who does have a business providing those kind of services to the general public. That's what an entrepreneur is. Now, I'm going to use a term that kind of turns a lot of people off. It really shouldn't, but it does. And that's called being a salesman. Selling is not the oldest profession in the world, but the reality is, it is the profession that drives the economy. Salespeople are the highest paid professionals in the world if they're good at what they're doing and they're providing a service or a product that solves a need for the public. Now, salespeople get a bad reputation. Sometimes, unfortunately, they earn it. But so does every other profession. Everybody that does anything isn't always going to be good at it and isn't always going to make people happy. And probably that's the reason that attorneys, lawyers, especially in the United States, are so prevalent and there are so many lawsuits, is because people are trying to make money because somebody made a mistake. Now, I'm not going to argue one way or the other whether it's good or bad or shouldn't or should. It is the way it is right now in the economy. So people have to be very careful in what they do, what they say. Otherwise, somebody may take them to task and try to get a bunch of money off of them. So as an entrepreneur, the first thing that you need to understand is there's no shortcuts to being successful. You know, criminals try this every single day. Hundreds of thousands of them do. Scams all the time. You hear them all the time. And unfortunately, you know, there's always somebody that wants to beat the system. However, the system is that if you provide a service, a product in the internet world, software, programs of some kind, and they're legitimate and they do provide and help somebody get the result they want, and that's really why people buy things, is because they have either a pain point that they want to get rid of, or they want to do something and they need additional information, tools, products of different kinds, but they need something and therefore they're willing to purchase them. And that's what an entrepreneur is somebody that provides a solution for what somebody needs. So if you're considering being an entrepreneur, and I'm not trying to convince you one way or the other to do anything. All I'm trying to do is help you understand that to be an entrepreneur, you have certain things that you are going to need to do. One of them is you're going to have to invest time and money. Now, most people have more time than they do money, but are they committed to spending the time, learning what they need to learn, and then applying that information to their business, whatever it is, to be successful? Unfortunately, no. Most people only want to make money quickly. They really don't want to work for it. So all I'm saying is if that's you and you're just looking for a quick buck, an easy buck, then being an entrepreneur really is not what you should do. You should stick to working for somebody else because it takes a special type of person, a person who is committed to themselves to do what they want to do and do whatever it takes to get what they want. Now, when I say do whatever it takes, within the confines of the law and ethics and credibility. If you lie to people, they'll figure it out. It doesn't take very long, and you won't have any business. So I encourage you, if you do have an entrepreneurial spirit, then follow that. But understand, you need to have the information. Plumbers don't do their job without knowing what they're doing. Electricians especially don't do that without being trained and knowing and understanding what they're doing. So I've taken enough time, and I just wanted to let you know that to be an entrepreneur is a great thing to do. I love it. But not everybody does, and not everybody's willing to go through whatever it takes in order to become one. So if you'd like to know more, there is a link that you can click that you can kind of check out what it takes to actually become a successful entrepreneur. Hey, Loren, aka Moses, and I am pulling for your success. Be sure and click the like button, subscribe, then that way you'll know when my next video is coming out, and check it out. I will be discussing lots of things. At some point, I'll even talk about how you turn the reality that you're facing today into the reality that you want tomorrow. God bless.